Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of January 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my Morgan Greer tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite tarot, and then Taurus, I will close out your reading with a Threads of Fate oracle card. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into the reading, Taurus. What do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021? What do we need to know for the sign of Taurus? Wow, okay. So as we move into this new year, Taurus, get ready. Things start moving for you very quickly. Things start happening. Things that you've been working hard for really do start to pay off, especially in this first week of January. I can tell you right now that change is happening. It's going to be happening in some big unexpected ways, especially as it relates to your money, but you've got some really powerful cards here. Let me make sure nothing is being cut off. So let's start with this 10 of Wands here. The 10 of Wands, excuse me, tells me that you've been working hard for something. You've been working really, really hard. You've been making a lot of sacrifices, almost to the point where you're feeling a little burnt out. I have to say that all of that is going to pay off, but be careful. You don't want to burn yourself off too much. The 10 of Wands, like I said, is telling me that you've been, taking on a lot. You've been doing a lot. You've been working hard. And like I said, it's going to pay off. 9 of Cups, this is the wish card. This little red-nosed guy is very happy. So this is the wish card. This means that everything you've been wishing for, it starts to show up in some way, shape, or form as we move into this first week of January. This is very exciting because all of this work was not done in vain. Now we also have the 2 of Swords here in the reverse, which means you have clarity about what you're going to do next, which direction you want to go into, how you're going to make things happen in your financial life. This is really good because it means you're no longer feeling like you're in the dark. It means that you feel like you have, solid information to make a solid decision. Now we have the Death card in reverse. The Death card in reverse talks about a life-transforming change. However, when it's in the reverse, it means that things either happen unexpectedly in a big way, or change happens, but it happens very, very slowly. Now, because change could happen, I'm feeling like this is more of change happening slowly. But the thing is like sometimes change happening slowly doesn't really feel like change at all. Okay, and that's something that you probably have to kind of grasp mentally before you can kind of use that to your advantage, in reality, in the physical world. So just know that changes are happening. You may not notice it, you may not feel it, but pay attention to the details of what's going on, especially as it relates to your money, to your work, to your business, your career, and so forth. Next, we have one of my favorite cards in the deck. This is the 9 of Pentacles. This is the card of luxury. This is the card of upscale. This is high end. This is, really enjoying, too, the fruits of your labor. You've been doing the hard work. It's all coming together. Change is happening in a very slow, maybe manageable way. And it really pays off big for you because you really start to enjoy the money. You start to enjoy the comforts of being financially secure. Now, even if you're not there yet, you know that this is totally possible for you. Remember, you have to go there mentally so you can go there physically, in the 3D, in reality. And I'm telling you, this is how it works. This is how it's worked for me. Everything starts with the mind. So I just want to encourage you guys that, yes, whatever it is that you want to enjoy, whatever it is that feels luxurious for you, you're going to be able to experience that in this first week in January. Finally, we have the Chariot here. The Chariot is another powerful card, as this card represents speed. It also represents force, but not like forcing something, but it just means power behind the action. It means that, things are happening in a very profound and timely way as it relates to your money. So you have to get ready and you have to prepare for that. So your first week in January, Taurus, is very, very good. All right, so let's see what else is showing up for Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021. Okay, so we talked about change happening in this first week of January as it relates to your financial life, okay? Now, you have been going through a lot, you've been working on this long term. The seeds have been planted. Things are starting to happen. Things are starting to progress, develop, sprout, grow. Things are starting to really mature in the way that you want them to. This is very exciting. Now, we also have the Nine of Wands here, and the Nine of Wands talks about being very clear-headed in the direction that you're going. So, it's not like you're trying to figure it out. It's like you already have a solid game plan in place, and that plan is working for you. So do not think that what you're doing is not working. Sometimes when things start to really, really be successful, it's not exactly always exciting. Sometimes, the path to success, sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's also very, very boring. And because it's boring, we think things aren't working. But I'm just here to tell you that you have that clarity of mind to know that you're on the right track, okay? Next, we have the Fool card. This is a new adventure coming your way. Now, the thing about the Fool card is sometimes, he's so ready to experience something new and different that he just kind of goes without any kind of concern for what could happen, what should happen, how he should be prepared. So I just want you to pay attention to that, Taurus, in the sense that, if you are going to go in a new direction, make sure that you know everything you need to know and that you're fully prepared, because you don't want to be naive about anything. Now, as this relates to your money, is sometimes we hear opportunities that come up and we think, oh my God, that's it. This is exactly what I want to do. This is the big payday for me. Okay, if you're finding yourself in that kind of a situation, make sure you do the research. Make sure you take your time. You don't have to rush into anything. And try not to be influenced by someone who knows even less than you do, because believe me, I think we all have been caught up in that type of a situation. I know I have more than once, and the Fool is just telling us to really pay attention. Next, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords talks about worry and anxiousness. I don't know, Taurus, you have a really good beginning of the month here, but sometimes we still get concerned and we still worry about things. Sometimes we feel anxiety about money, or work, or our career, or our business, or our investments. And I think that's totally normal. Everyone goes through that. You just have to make sure you don't sit in that space for too long. Next, we have the Tower card in the reverse, which means the worst is over. Okay, maybe that's what you're feeling anxious about. Maybe you hit rock bottom not too long ago, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I just cannot go back to that place. I cannot allow myself to get in that position ever again. And I'm here to tell you that you won't. You have the wisdom and the experience to keep you going in the direction that is going to bring you achievement, okay? We cannot worry about things that happened in the past. Now, I know there's things that happen in the past that affect us today, but try not to use that as a stumbling block on your current path to financial success. Okay, because remember, this is all about mindset. This is all about, having the experience and having the knowledge and learning, like I said, the wisdom of things that happened in the past, and using that for our own personal advantage, using that to get us closer to where we want to go. All right, Taurus, let's keep going. Let's see what else is showing up for you, because you really do, like I said, have a good start to the month of January. All right. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of January 2021? All right, Taurus, as we move into the second half of January, I have to say that things really start to slow down for you. Now, this is not necessarily anything to really worry about. Sometimes when we think about timing as it relates to money flow, and when we think about timing as it relates to our finances, sometimes slow is better. I know it's not that exciting, and I know a lot of us want money yesterday, but sometimes we have to pay attention that things take the time that they take. But let's start here with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands means you're going to be getting some type of support and assistance as it relates to your work. Someone wants to help you. Someone wants to partner with you. Someone wants to support you. Now, if it's not an actual person, it could just be a circumstance or a situation that you're in where you do get some type of assistance. It could be a program, could be a community thing, could be a charitable thing. Whatever the case may be, just know that once we move into the second half of January, you are going to be receiving some type of support. Excuse me, and this will have a direct positive influence on your money. Next, we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is a card about control. When he shows up, excuse me, in the reverse, sometimes it feels like things could be a little out of control, or it could be the opposite of that, where things are overly controlled, micromanaged, right? Depending on your circumstances, that will depend on how this applies to you. When I look at this, I'm feeling like it's more of the former, in the sense that, things are just kind of not necessarily out of control, but there's just no real structure. Things are kind of happening here, things are kind of happening there, and we're just kind of rolling with it, right? But Taurus, I know you like structure. I know you like to know, hey, what's the plan? What's the next step? Where are we going with this? You may feel a little ambivalent at this time because things may feel just a little loose, okay? Some of you, that could work, but others of you, it just feels like, I want to say chaotic, but it's not really chaotic. It's more like just unmanaged. All right, so let's move on to the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords in the reverse talks about a delay in travel. Talks about things geographically not happening. Could be a relocation, could be a business trip, could be a road trip, holiday, whatever. Looks like there's going to be some changes or some cancellations as it relates to that. Or it could be, maybe things just get postponed or they get rearranged in some way, okay? Next, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands talks about speed. This is the card about timing. This is a card about things not happening when they're supposed to. But the interesting thing about the Eight of Wands is sometimes that works out in our favor. I like when I see this card because this card is always positive. It means that things are happening quickly and on time, but when it shows up in the reverse, it means that things are taking slower than what we expect, but that delay really works to our favor. It works to our advantage. So it doesn't matter if this card is right side up or if it's reverse, because it means that the timing is going to work out for you regardless of what happens. If it works out on time, great. If it's slow, That's great too, because it either gives you more time or it allows other things to kind of come into focus. All right, so next we have the Four of Pentacles. This is paying attention to your budget. Make sure that you have everything, tracked and, check and triple check and all that stuff. The other thing about the Four of Pentacles, sometimes when he's in the reverse, it means that you're in a position to kind of not be so picky with the money. Most of the time, though, when I do see this, it means that you can splurge where it matters, but then you are frugal, in areas where it doesn't matter. So you may invest in a really, high-end luxury appliance because it's something you're going to use forever. But when it comes to something like, aluminum foil, you don't need to buy the expensive brand. You can buy the cheap brand. It's one of those types of things. Next, we have the Nine of Swords here in reverse. Now, we also saw that card here. Again, this is a card that talks about anxiety. Because this is in the reverse, it means that you are no longer feeling anxious, stressed, worried, staying up at night. It means that things really start to calm down for you once we get through this third week in January. Okay, so things may feel a little tense, but just do your best to kind of ride it out, because it's not going to be that way forever. It's like a temporary thing. Okay, Taurus, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of January 2021. Oh, nice. Okay, so looks like January is going to definitely end on a busy note for you, Taurus. Looks like work is going to be picking up for you. Also, you're going to have some opportunities to make some choices and make some decisions with your money. First, we have the Knight of Cups here. Now, it's interesting because we have the Knight of Wands here. Remember, this is where I told you that some type of support or assistance is going to come your way. Next, we have the Knight of Cups, which means someone, makes an offer, but then they don't follow through. This is a frustrating card because it's usually somebody you didn't expect that from. Could be a colleague, could be a family member, whatever the case. It's like someone promises, oh, yeah, I'll be there to help you move on Saturday. And then Saturday comes and they don't show up. I think I may have used that. Example before, but that's what this is. So this is not anything like life-alteringly bad. But it's just more of an annoyance and an inconvenience. It's like, dude, you told me you'd be there. And then dude doesn't show up. It's like that kind of thing, okay? So it's like someone says, okay, I'll help. Or something, someone makes a promise and then they don't follow through. All right. And because they don't follow through, somehow this affects your money. Either you have to pay someone to help you, or you have to spend more money when you were hoping to save more money. It's one of those things where it does have an impact on your, finances in some way. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles. I told you work is going to be picking up for you towards the end of January, so get ready to be very, very busy. This could be good for some of you. This may not be good for, some of you too, but most of us want to work because we want to make that money, and you're definitely going to have that opportunity to do so, Taurus, at the end of the month. Next, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is someone who is very emotionally stable. He's someone that doesn't do irrational things. His emotions are always pretty guarded, pretty in check. He doesn't allow his emotions to override his, logic or his reactions. So I have a feeling, Taurus, that this is going to be you. I'm getting the sense that this is your energy here. It's like you've kind of, you've been in the game long enough that that you don't react one way or another. You just kind of take it all in, and then you make a move once you decide, after you assess the whole situation. Then you make a move as far as, what is best for you at that time. So just know that, you won't be overwhelmed emotionally, and that you're going to be in a really solid confident state of mind in order to make some decisions, especially financial decisions. Next, we have the Five of Swords here. Now, the Five of Swords, this is a communication card. This means that, not everybody's going to be on the same page. So if you're having some conversations, say with your finance people, your banker, your investors, your employees, your co-workers, anybody who has any type of, connection to you financially, just make sure you pay attention to the words you're using, the conversations you're having, because some people are not going to be on the same page. They're going to be misunderstandings. There's going to be some miscommunication, okay? Finally, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is all about financial literacy. Looks like you're going to have an opportunity to kind of kick up your skills as it relates to money. Now, whether that be taking a new class, reading a new book about something, or just learning about your current business in a new way that could be profitable for you in the long run. Maybe your employer offers a class or says, hey, we offer training in this. If anyone's interested, it's a possibility to move up in the company. It's one of those situations where if you improve yourself, then you're definitely going to improve your income. So this is very, very good. And I think that's really exciting because Taurus, I know you like challenges and I know you like learning new things. So overall, Taurus, good month here. Looks like you've got a really strong first, part of the month. And then you go into the second half of the month where things just kind of, it's like they kind of stabilize, things just kind of happen in their own way and in their own timing. And, you're okay with it. You don't feel stressed. You feel very relaxed and you just feel, like you're on track, like you're on target. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Threads of Fate Oracle card. This is a brand new deck. I've never shared on the channel before. Oh, look, you've got the love card. How beautiful. I don't know if you can see the gold foil on the card and also on the backs. But yeah, you've got the card of love. This is beautiful. So that is your theme for the month of January, Taurus. I hope you enjoy it. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.